Welcome back to Just 2 Minutes, Just a Mishnah. Today's Mishnah is the Nishmas, Fredele Basrachal, and the Schus of Edir Tzak Ben Gila, and the Frost of Basirish, the Fush Lema, some Sacha Sotah, Parak Zay, Mishnah Hey, Mishnah Vav, Brachas Uklas Ketzat. So we're currently explaining Mishnah Beis, which now we're expounding on. So when one of the things we said that has to be said in Lashon HaKodesh is the Brachas and the Klos, the blessings and the curses. So what does that mean? Kevan She'avru Yisrael Seyarden. So this is the context. So after Bnei Yisrael crossed the Yarden, the Jordan River, Ubal Har Grizim El Har Eval, they came to the mountain of the Har Grizim and Har Eval, two mountains, Shebesharman, which was named Sharman, Shebetzad Shechem, which was next to Shechem, Shebe'etel Eloini Moira, and Eloini Moira is Shechem. So Shenemar Haloi Hema Be'ever HaYarden, Ulahan Hu Omer Vayavar Avram Ba'aretz Ad Mokem Shechem Ad Elon Moira. Because later on, we see that when Avram went to Shechem, it says he went to Shechem, which is Alon Moira. So also over here, Shechem means Alon Moira. Ma Alon Moira Moira Lahalam Shechem Af Elon Moira Moira Kan Shechem. So Shisha Shvatim Alu Roisha Har Grizim, and then six of the Shvatim went up onto Har Grizim. Shisha Shvatim Alu Roisha Har Eval. The other six Shvatim went up onto the other mountain. V'Kohanim V'Levim Ba'aron Amdin Lamata Be'emtza. And then in between the two mountains, the Kohanim stood. The Kohanim, the Levim, and the Aron stood in the middle. HaKohanim Akif Aron. The Kohanim surrounded the Aron. V'Levim Kohanim. And the Levim surrounded the Kohanim. B'Kol Yisrael Mikan. Then all the rest of Klal Yisrael were on the mountains. Shenemar B'Kol Yisrael Zakena V'Sharta V'Sharfta V'Amdim Mizem Mizela Aron. It says in the pasuk, all of Klal Yisrael stood on the sides of the Aron. Haflu Pneim Klape Har Grizim. They faced Har Grizim Upaschu Babracha, and then they started saying the bracha. Baruch Isha Shaloyase Pesel Masecha. The first bracha they said is, blessed is he basically who doesn't serve or make idols. Ve'elu Einin Amen, and then everyone answers Amen. Haflu Pneim Klape Har Evel. Then they turned towards Har Evel. Upaschu Baklan, and they started saying the curse. Aruha Isha Shaloyase Pesel Masecha. The exact opposite, cursed is he who serves or makes idols. Ve'elu Einin Amen. Achigarim Brachas Uklalis, and everyone answers Amen, and that's how they would read all the blessings and the curses. They would say one, and then everyone answer Amen, then turn the other way and say the opposite, and everyone answer Amen, like we just said. Then they took 70 big stones and built a mizbeach out of it, and covered it with plaster. And they brought up korbanos, and afterwards they took it apart, and on those 70 stones, we have the famous story where Yeshua wrote down all of the Torah on those stones in 70 languages. Shenamar ba'er hate that, because it doesn't pasuk write it down very well. So we sounds from there. We hear from the pasuk that has to be written very clearly. So he wrote it in all of the different psukim. So Mishnah Vav. Birkas Kohanim Ketzas. Now the next thing is Birkas Kohanim has to be in Lashon HaKodesh. So we say in Shul, for those in Eretz Yisrael every day. So the way we have is that it's split up into three separate brachas. So by Medina brachas, outside of the base of Mikdash, when they do Birkas Kohanim like we have today, it was three separate brachas. So by Mikdash bracha achas, but in the base of Mikdash it was one long bracha, and then you just say Amen at the very end. But Mikdash Omer Hashem Kiksavai. When we say the Birkas Kohanim, we have the Shem Adnos Yudke Vavke, which we pronounce Adoshem. When they did in the base of Mikdash, they would actually pronounce the name the way it's spelled. Uba Medina Bekinoi. But Medina Kohanim Ma'asim Masudei and Keneged Kaspan. Outside the base of Mikdash, the Kohanim, when they would do Birkas Kohanim, they would only lift their hands up to their shoulders. Uba Mikdash Al Gabi Roshan. But in the base of Mikdash, they would lift their hands above their heads. Chutz mi Kohen Gadol, have the Kohen Gadol She'enim Agrias Yadav L'malam Tzitz, because he wasn't allowed to lift his hands above the tzitz, which is the golden plate which he wears on his forehead. Rabbi Yehuda Omer of Kohen Gadol. Rabbi Yehuda says also the Kohen Gadol Magbei Yadav L'malam Tzitz. Shenemar Visa Aaron is Yadav El Ha'am Vayvarchem, because it says in the pasuk that Aaron himself blessed the whole nation, and he lifted his hands up and blessed them. So we see from there that the Kohen Gadol can lift his hand up above the tzitz, but we do not go according to him. And those are today's Mishnayos.